Yeah, obviously, there's an extra dimension winning this game, and have two big clubs fighting for their goals. And I think first half was a little bit difficult with the way they pressed. I think they kept us relatively in control, but I think we adapted well enough, and I think the second half we fully dominated.
Your players seem to get stronger and stronger as the game went on. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, because football is emotions, and when you are winning 3-1, the emotion is high and the opponent is low, so it's normal.
There was a 15-minute spell near the end where your players had 97% possession over 15 minutes. I mean, that's incredible.
We have this desire, this passion to regain the ball. Minute 1, 90 minutes. We want the ball as much as possible, and but not to have the ball. So with one intention. And especially today, the second half, we read it really, really well.
Well, Ralph, what was it? Were they just too good, or was your side not good enough today?
Well, in the second half, probably both, but I still think that we played a good first half. Being 2-1 down, it was the result, but we could have scored 1 or 2 more goals in the first half. We caused them problems in transitional moments and also when we were in possession of the ball. But obviously, when you concede 2 goals in the first half, you have to do something in the second half to try and score the equalizer. And we didn't. After that third goal that we conceded, a very frustrating game for us.
He says frustrating. In the end, Danny, City absolutely steamrolled United.
Yeah, well, in the first half, it was a really competitive derby. Enjoyable game. Manchester United were brave. They pressed high at times, as Kevin De Bruyne said. When they got put under pressure, they broke with purpose. They got numbers forward. It was as good as I'd seen United in a while, I have to be honest. But in the second half, they were completely overwhelmed by City's quality, by their energy, fit, everything. It was a complete contrast from the first half.
And that quality and energy didn't let up and was evident in these two.
Well, the front two here, Foden and De Bruyne, I say front two, they play in these wonderful little pockets. Their game intelligence is tremendous. And they scored an early goal, which gave them confidence. They were well assisted by a brilliant display from Bernardo Silva, Mahrez and Grealish too. But these two have this lovely link-up. They get these, as I said, in these pockets, and they know their awareness of each other. And the skill of Foden as well, it's a joy. I mean, this lad, he's come on the scene as a winger. Look at this for a brilliant bit of skill. Ends up coming to De Bruyne, who gets his second goal to put them back in the lead. But he's come on the scene as a winger and he plays this front role like he's played it all his life. I mean, we know De Bruyne has got the intelligence, but Foden, tremendous. Here, you expect him probably to work the hair, drags it a little bit. But there were so many aspects to his play, and you were impressed with the work rate, Troy, weren't you?
Yeah, this one here, he makes up so much yardage, but there's no way that Wan-Bissaka should be getting pushed off the ball there, but that just shows his desire. And at this point, he's leading from the front, and look at that, winning the ball back again. I think he's in this great vein of form at the moment where he sets a tempo for the way they press, whether that's 0-0 or 4-1 up.
It's the desire as well, isn't it, Troy?
Yeah, definitely. Look, he's getting frustrated with himself as well. And I think this sums him up perfectly. This is 3-1. And look how many City players are back there, but I think Foden plus Silva set the tempo for everybody there in the way that they get after people. 3-1 up, bang, we're getting the ball back.
I mean, if you have, there's nothing new in putting this question to you just on City here, but if you have the skill that they all have, the game intelligence that they all have, the desire that they all have, and the coach that they all have, who has improved them as individuals, makes you nigh on unstoppable.
Well, it's the demand of the manager that creates the intensity. If you don't have that demand off the manager and repercussions for bad performances or not doing the yards and not putting the work in, for example, you won't get in the team. All the players who are in that team do that it's a prerequisite. Then the quality shines through.
So speaking of mistakes and the lack of intensity,
well, mistakes you can forgive. Lacking intensity, lacking effort. Doing the simple things we've talked about for weeks, if not months, with Manchester United now. And unfortunately, they were there again, more and more as the game went on. There was too many times where United players were caught out too easily. We'll start with the second goal. Watch De Bruyne run past Fred. Unlike Fred, to be honest, he's one of the Manchester United players who does do the yards. just watch him run off him at the top of the screen. And Lindelof, OK, he's done with a bit of skill, but look at his reaction on the edge of the box. Watching, too late. That you can't accept. Second half, yes, you're playing one of the best teams in Europe. I understand that, and they do work you, but Bruno Fernandes, he wasn't the only one, by the way, but look, that's not a press. That's not committing to the cause. That's not what you need. You need 11 players against Manchester City who are at it. You can't carry 1 or 2 or 3. Look, just seen that on the
15 yards.
15 yards.
15 yards.
Shouldn't happen. It's basics. This is simple stuff. Be first to the ball. The sub, Rashford, come on. Too easy. Again, Bruno not helping him. Bernardo Silva's had about 15 touches there and gone about 40 yards. McTominay, too easy. I mean, some of the players in the second half, you could argue, had been worked so hard in the game that there's an understandable lack of energy. But the 2 substitutes, Troy, you can't expect that from them.
No, and as players, it's an easy one. We've all been in that position where you've been a sub and you're coming on. If you run around, show intensity, you're probably going to play the next game. Marcus and Jesse will be really disappointed because they're going to come under a lot of stick. But the most important thing you can do is just get after them, run around, look interested.
That's all fans want, sometimes.
And again, this here, I think this sums up Man United. Scott McTominay, frustrated. Obviously, it's not going well, but then he's getting on his keeper, and I don't know what the left back's doing here. He's either got to match the run or he's got to stay with the line. He does neither, and it's a great finish.
I mean, that just shows how much United fell away in that second half. The contrast between the first half stats and the second half stats. You've played against this Manchester City side. And to put it bluntly, you've been thrashed by this Manchester City side.
Slapped is what we
slapped.
call it.
OK.
Yeah.
When you get into that second half, forget the substitute side of things.
Yeah.
But 60, 70 minutes in, and you've been playing against them all that time. Is it physical tiredness? Is it mental tiredness? Is it both? I'm not making excuses for the United players, but there must be an element of that.
No, definitely. And I think, again, the game I'm talking about is the 6-0 we lost in the final. And you're doing all right, and the next thing you know, you're two down. What happened there? They just keep the ball so well, and they just keep popping it, keep moving. And I think the best thing is when they go across the back, it's fizzed in. There's no soft passes that allow you to get there. It's just bang, bang, bang. And at times you're counting. Have they got 13 men? What's happening? Where's this extra geezer come from? But you get tired, and it happens. But I do think for Jesse and for Marcus, they'll have to look at themselves and go, right, we really have to start doing more here, because we can all have managers, tactics, but we're talking about desire from all over the pitch here. And this is individuals. This isn't anybody else. This is people looking at themselves going, what more can I do?
It's feeling some players get in that mindset. You're feeling sorry for yourself a bit. I'm not playing, or the game's gone, or whatever it is. You're grieving in the game, and you let it affect your energy instead of sticking together collectively and using your anger and your frustration and channeling it into legs.
Because they're all good players as well. We're not saying they're not good players. We're now going that basics that we all grew up on. Are you going to dig in? And that's where we're at the moment.
Just have a look at the Mahrez goal from the corner, because Ralph Rangnick said this was very difficult to defend.
Yeah, I disagree on this. I think we can't take away it's a great ball and a great goal. That's something all pros do after training. But look, they've got everyone back here. You can see everyone's doing a job. You've got people individually marking. You've got your 2 best headers of the ball in the spaces and the zones to go and head it. For me, Wan-Bissaka here can go out and push Jesse on. If he pushes Jesse on, that stops that. It's not like the goal that we saw United score at Bradford, where Bex has put it out to...
Drilled.
He's really seen that, and Scholes, he's put it in. Then you turn around and go, there's nothing we can do. That's a soft goal from a defensive
That's communication and leadership as well, then, isn't it?
Exactly that. And I'm amazed. I mean, he'll have to watch that back, Ralph Rangnick, I'm sure, and he'll see that can be easily avoided. But that's exactly the word. It's leadership, it's communication. It's demanding more off each other. Even when you're losing a game and you think the game's gone, you know, it's standards.
Personal
standards, your personal pride, the standards United have set over the years has been there, and now it's dropped well below.
Still a good goal, though.
Still a great finish.
Right. Just thought I'd clarify that.
That's Mahrez, 21, is it, this season?
Yeah. Right.